G'day, all. Me responding to his text at 2 a.m. So I'm not really sure what I was going for here. I wanted to do something candy-like, and then it just kind of turned into a clown. So I guess I'm a candy clown. Clown, carnival, candy. That doesn't look good. I've been compiling this list for, I don't know, a few months. I got a few fragrances recently that really just pushed me to the point of making this video, and that is fragrances that I'm currently loving that smell like candy. Now, I'm not talking about chocolate, okay? I'm not talking about caramel, for the most part. I'm mostly talking about fruity candies. You know, fruity, hard candy, gushers, licorice, bubblegum, stuff like that. So good you could eat it, but don't eat these. Do not consume these fragrances. All right, first we're gonna start with probably what inspired this whole video, which is Anna Shui's Fantasia Pop Surprise. I love Anna Shui. I can't get enough of her bottles. They're so kitschy and fun and cute, and they don't take themselves too seriously. It has a very strong identity as far as its packaging, the bottles, the scents. Fun little tidbit about this fragrance, actually, the bottle comes in 4 different colorways. All right, you're gonna see some hairline, all right? She's showing. For Fantasia Pop Surprise, you've got top notes of cassis, raspberry, and jabuticaba. I always struggle to say this name. Jabuticaba is like a grape-like berry. In the middle, you've got jasmine and cyclamen, and in the base, you've got ambroxan, driftwood, and cotton candy. And this, y'all, this straight up smells like cotton candy. It's got that jabuticaba and the raspberry. It adds something so interesting. It makes the cotton candy like sour. It's like a sour tart cotton candy. Oh my god. Okay, actually I haven't sprayed this in a little bit, like a couple of months, and I swear it's gotten better. That cotton candy note is so delicious. It stays throughout the dry down. If I spray this on clothing, it'll last for hours. And that cotton candy note sticks. If you want like a sour, tart cotton candy, it's got a little bit of a twist in there. Oh my god, this is so delightful. It's so fun. It's young. It's bright. It's sweet. Like, makes me happy. It makes me happy. It reminds me of being like at a carnival or the state fair with cotton candy. It brings back a lot of happy memories. I love this one. Absolutely love it. It's also very inexpensive. I'm pretty sure I got this bottle for 34 Australian dollars, which is very inexpensive for, what is this, 50 mils? It's an EDT, but for an EDT, the lasting power is pretty good. So if you're in Australia, this one hopefully is easy to get. I just grabbed it from Chemist Warehouse. I can't get enough of the cotton candy. It's so good. It's so like sour and tart. It's amazing. Love it. The next fragrance I have is Khurafi by Lattafa. If you know pink sugar, this is like pink sugar, but without that licorice note. In Khurafi, you've got top notes of sugar, vanilla, marshmallow, and mandarin. Middle notes of marshmallow, oud, and licorice, and base notes of chocolate, vanilla, and powdery notes. Basically, it boils down to this is pink sugar, okay? This is pink sugar. I will say the difference between this and pink sugar is it doesn't have that burnt quality, that kind of, it doesn't have that licorice note, so it doesn't have that burnt quality that a lot of people will smell in pink sugar. It doesn't have that, so if you're someone who does not like pink sugar, or it's like you're almost there, but something's throwing you off, try Khurafi by Lattafa. It is basically pink sugar. I don't want to say refined because it's actually a little bit simpler than something like pink sugar because you're removing that licorice facet, but I've actually only had my bottle for, I don't know, a month, maybe 2 months, and I mean, I loved it straight out the box. I would imagine I will only grow to love this one even more as it ages. I mean, I already love it. This is pink sugar. I absolutely had to include this one. I knew immediately when I smelled it, I would include it in this video. It's got that fluffy marshmallow. It's got that caramelized sugar quality, similar to pink sugar. It's got licorice. It's not that burnt. It's not like that burnt property that pink sugar has. So if you're not a fan of that one, maybe try this one. It was also very inexpensive. I mean, I got mine for 40 Australian dollars. For 100 mils, that's a bargain. I mean, this is an easy win. Straight out of the box, smells lovely. A better version of pink sugar? Ooh. I don't know if I'll say that. Okay, you wouldn't expect from a bottle that looks like this, the smell that's inside, but it was a pleasant surprise for me. Love this one. No. Can you imagine? The next fragrance I have is Sabrina Carpenter's Sweet Tooth. I feel like I couldn't complete this list without this fragrance. It's got marshmallow, chocolate, candied ginger, and bergamot in the top. In the middle, it's got vanilla, coconut milk, jasmine, and it's got whipped cream, sugar, cashmere wood, and musk in the base. It's a fluffy ginger cocoa candy. It's so unbelievably soft. That cashmere wood just gives it just that airy, fairy, fleeting property. It's basically like a delicious candied ginger. That's what this smells like to me. Yeah, you got the chocolate. Yeah, you got the marshmallow. But the ginger is what stands out and makes it so delectable, delicious. I actually find this one very calming as well. I love to wear this one to sleep. That's another video I have to make. It's calming. It's super sweet. It's fluffy. It's happy. It's airy. You can't not smell this and just like be happy. I don't know, it's like happy juice, basically. One of the few fragrances that I like with coconut milk in there. I don't know, they were spot on with this one. They got this one real right. The only downside, it doesn't last super long, but because it's so inexpensive, I don't really feel too bad about it. So delicious, love it. The next fragrance I have is Moschino Toy 2 Bubblegum. In this one, you've got candied fruits, lemon, and bitter orange at the top. In the middle, you've got bubblegum, you've got rose, blueberry, peach blossom, cinnamon, and ginger, and base notes of musk, ambroxan, and cedar. Now, I know that this is kind of a maybe not controversial, but it's a bit polarizing. I feel like people either love or hate this fragrance, but I will tell you why I picked this and why I like it so much. So on initial spray, you get that heavy hit of bubblegum. You get the a little bit of florals in there. I pick up the rose and the peach blossom, a little bit of the fruitiness. It's a delicious Hubba Bubba bubblegum initial spray, but something magical happens when this dries down, and this is the best way to describe it for me. So you spray it, you get the bubble gum, you get the fruitiness, but then when it dries down, you've got that cinnamon and that ginger in there. Those really start to warm up and blossom, and then it smells like cinnamon gum. So for me, this scent is so transformative. I love what it does. I love how it changes. And it still actually smells like gum to me on the dry down. It just smells like a cinnamon gum. Is gum a candy? Are we counting that as candy? I'm counting that as candy today. So I feel like because of the way that this changes, it's so unique. I love the bottle. The bottle is kitschy. It's super cute. It's fun. And it changes. It's cool. I love how it changes. I think it makes it so interesting and unique. I am sweating profusely. All right, the next one I have is actually a body spray. It's Butterfly from Bath & Body Works. So in this one, you've got notes of raspberry nectar, iris petals, and airy vanilla. To me, when I smell this, I just get a raspberry candy. There's a little bit of a powderiness in there. It's probably less candy-like than all the ones I've mentioned so far, but that iris, it adds a little bit of a powderiness, and it does have a little bit of vanilla, but I mainly get a very candied raspberry. It's not the most complex scent, but I think it's a beautifully simple raspberry candy-like body spray. Is it my most candy-like body spray? I think so. I reckon this is probably the sweetest one that I have. I feel like the more it dries down, the more candy-like it gets. Yeah, I thought I would throw this one in there. Wouldn't normally include body sprays, but this one stuck out to me when making this list. The next scent I have is Guess Seductive Red. This one has top notes of cherry, almond, and pink pepper, middle notes of cherry blossom, violet, and magnolia, and base notes of vanilla, tonka bean, and sandalwood. This is basically like a cherry fruity cloud. Like imagine cloud pink, but the fruit is cherry instead of what's in there, dragon fruit, I think. This is like a cherry candy. It's got that fluffiness like cloud. You've got that vanilla, you've got that tonka bean. It makes it fluffy. The almond also beautifully complements those notes as well. If you like cloud pink, imagine that with cherry. And if you like those, I think you will really like this. It's a very candied cherry scent. It's very fluffy. It's very fun. It's young. It's sweet. It's simple. The only downside is that you do need to spray it quite a bit for it to last, but listen, I will spray quite a few times. It is an EDT. As long as I spray basically a butt ton, it will last longer. Oh, the florals are so beautiful as well. The cherry blossom really sticks out. It's just so feminine. It's so feminine and light and fluffy. The next scent I have is Sorbetto Rosso by Escada. And I will just say Escada kills it. I whittled it down to 2 Escada fragrances. I have a few others, but I picked the ones that I think are the most candy-like that I have. In the top, you've got pear, calogne, and tangerine. In the middle, you've got watermelon, you've got watery notes, strawberry, apple, sea salt, tiare flower, hedione, rose, and in the base you've got praline, musk, and amber. When I smell Sorbetto Rosso, you know what I just, and I've said this before, I just smell a watermelon gusher. It's got that like aquatic and watery quality, which just makes me think of like a juicy candy. So not like a hard candy, but something like a gusher, something with like liquid inside. Something's got like syrup in it. I just think of a watermelon gusher. So sweet. It's got that watery property, but the sweetness is perfect. It's like not too overbearing. It doesn't give me a headache. I don't really smell the sea salt, to be honest with you. I just really get a lot of that fruit, a lot of the wateriness, maybe a little bit of the rose, but the rose goes lovely in here with all of these fruits. This hair is plastic, so I can't eat it. Oh, it's a gusher. It's a watermelon gusher. It's delectable, yummy, delicious. I love it. The next scent I have is Kayali's Eden Juicy Apple. This one's got top notes of red apple, lychee, black currant, and pink grapefruit. Middle notes of wild berries, raspberry bloom, jasmine and May rose, and base notes of sugar, musk, vanilla, moss, and amber. When I smell this, I just think, you know what? It could be like a candy like apple, or like a dried fruit or something, like a super sweet dried fruit. It kind of smells like a super sweet apple juice. Does that count as candy? I don't know. Maybe think of like an apple juice that's not really apple juice. It's like okay, maybe not apple juice, maybe like a Capri Sun. Like an apple Capri Sun, like a super sweet. It's got added sugar in there. That's what I smell when I smell this. I just think of a super sweet candied apple, or like a fruit leather. If you have Badial Oud Sublime, think Badial Oud Sublime, but like way fruitier, way more fruity forward. That's what this is like. Just a beautifully candied apple, like a leather apple candy, or like an apple-based juice blend. So super sweet. Does that count as candy-like? I'm gonna count it as candy-like, okay? I make the rules here. Next up, I have Viva La Juicy Sucre by Juicy Couture. This one's got top notes of red currant, mandarin orange, and gardenia. Middle notes of almond cream, peach, orange blossom, and jasmine, and base notes of whipped cream, vanilla, cacao, and sandalwood. So for me, when I smell this, you do have some of that Viva La Juicy DNA in there if you're familiar with Viva La Juicy, but there's a facet of like a peach ring in here. Imagine a peach ring that had like a creaminess in it. So maybe it's not like a pure fruit peach ring, it's got like a milky part of it. That's what this would be. A super creamy, milky, you've got that almond cream, you've got whipped cream in a peach candy. This one is probably more fragrance-like than a lot of the other ones, but just that added peach facet, that fruity facet is so candy-like and so delicious. I had to include it. And this is definitely one of my favorites. I think this was either one of my favorites or an honorable mention in my last year's fragrance favorites. I love Viva La Juicy Sucre. It's so delicious, so creamy, peachy, but it's got that Viva La Juicy DNA under there. It's so super feminine, and it beautifully complements the white floral in here, the jasmine and the orange blossom. Oh, it's such a good combination of a fruity and a candy-like sweetness. Such a good one. I love this. My hairline keeps showing. So next one I have is Pink Sugar Berry Blast by Aquolina. This one's got top notes of blueberry, blackberry, orange, and bergamot. Middle notes of cotton candy, cherry, wild strawberry, and cork. Base notes of caramel, vanilla, tonka bean, cedar, and moss. So when I smell this, you know what I think of? It does smell similar to Pink Sugar. It doesn't have licorice in it. It's got some different berries in there. So you've got some blue, you've got blueberry, blackberry. You know what it smells like? It smells like And maybe this will put some people off, but to me, it smells like a blue candy. Are you one of those people that just loves blue? You don't even care what it is. You just like, oh yes, blue, the blue flavor. I love the blue flavor. It's very ambiguous what that it really is. Is it blueberry? Is it blackberry? It could be blue raspberry for all we know. This smells like what that generic blue flavor is. That is the best way I can describe this. It's like pink sugar with some cotton candy. You don't have as much of that burnt quality. You don't have licorice. And it's like got a blue candy. Maybe it's blue cotton candy. This is blue cotton candy. Yes. Perfect description. It's not super complex. Listen, a lot of these aren't super complex, but that's not why you're here. You're here because you want that simple candy-like sweetness, right? And sometimes simple isn't bad, okay? Sometimes it's the simplest things in life that give us the greatest pleasure. Or, I don't know, someone intelligent said that, I'm sure. All right, the next fragrance I have is Wanted Girl by Night by Azzaro. This is, I won't say it's my current favorite. It was my #1 favorite last year. This one's got a simple scent story. It's got top notes of whipped cream and rum. It's got night blooming cereus in the middle, and in the base it's got patchouli. First of all, the bottle is awesome. It's like it's a bomb, and it is a sweet bomb, okay? The trigger actually works for the atomizer. It's such a cool bottle. I love this. Okay, when you first smell it, you get the rum. It's like a super sweet, creamy rum. The way it opens is like it has a grape soda-like facet to it when it first opens. Think of like a very fancy, expensive grape soda. Again, does that count as candy? I'm counting it as candy. It's sweet, light candy. You've got rum. It's very seductive and sexy, but then it's like, it's just so mouth-wateringly sweet. It's so creamy with that whipped cream in there. This is truly like one of my favorite fragrances of all time. I have never smelled anything like this. It's one of my most unique fragrances in my collection, and I love it for that. It's got a grape soda facet, like a super sweet grape soda, but like maybe it's a grape soda float. The rum is not like super bitter. It's a very sweet rum. Oh, okay. I'm not going to go on about this fragrance forever because you guys already know how I feel about this if you watched my favorites video. I could go on and on about how sexy, seductive, sweet, innocent. I mean, how can a fragrance be sexy and innocent at the same time? I don't know. But that's Azzaro Wanted Girl by Night. It's got it all. God, I haven't worn this in a while. It's deepened. I will say it's deepened, actually, since I purchased it last year. I can't wait to start wearing this again. It's starting to cool down, and I'm so excited. I get to pull out gems like this again and wear them. Actually, the very first compliment I got when I wore this, it was, what did he say? He said, you smell like a Super Duper. If you live in the US, Super Dupers are like Otter Pops, basically, in Australia. And he goes, you smell like the pink one. You smell like the pink Super Duper. So you walk around and you smell super sweet and like a candy, and apparently like a Super Duper. So that was the compliment I got. The very first compliment I got on this, and it's so candy-like, it's delicious, it's sweet, it's mwah, it's got it all. I cannot rave about this fragrance enough. I could not do this video without including, everyone knows this one, you either love it or you hate it, Pink Sugar by Aquolina, the OG Pink Sugar. This one's got top notes of raspberry, orange, bergamot, and fig leaf, middle notes of cotton candy, licorice, strawberry, red berries, lily of the valley, and base notes of caramel, vanilla, musk, tonka bean, sandalwood. I mean, I'm biased, okay? Listen. I mean, I think this was one of my very first fragrances that I ever had as a young teenager. There is a nostalgia factor for me. It's probably why I love it as much as I do. And it's also one of the only scents with licorice that I actually like. It is a very strong licorice facet. I think that's what some people might pick up as like a burnt quality. Personally, I don't get a burnt quality from this. I think it's a beautifully tart and bright cotton candy note. It's got a twist with that licorice, and it's got like a soft creaminess in the base with that caramel and the vanilla and the tonka bean. It's just fun. There's also like a little bit of a greenness in there. Listen, if you haven't smelled this one before and you're interested in getting it, Well, first of all, it's pretty cheap. I feel like you can find a bottle still for pretty cheap nowadays. This one is very much a love it or hate it, I feel like, but I will say the darker the juice is, the better it smells, in my opinion. This one, the juice could be darker. I actually have like a very small roller ball and I'll show you the juice. But the juice in there is a lot darker. This one actually, oh my God, this is completely different. This is just caramel. Oh my God. When the juice is dark like this, it just straight up smells like sweet caramel, like a fruity caramel. Oh my God. You know what, I might have to actually decant some out of this bottle into a small, like a 2 ml and let it get this super dark, completely different scent. It's like way more creamy, way more caramelly. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, that's so yummy. The vanilla is so strong. That's so good. This is like a totally different scent. So funny. So funny how age can completely change a fragrance. There you go. I love both of these. Love new and old. I will have links for most, if not all, of these fragrances down below in the description box. Some of them are affiliate links, so if you click those and you do make a purchase, I make a commission. You don't have to click those, you don't have to use those, but it does help me and it supports the channel and allows me to continue making these videos. So thank you in advance and let's continue. And the last scent I have for this list is Escada's Flor del Sol. This one's got top notes of grenadine, tequila, and orange, middle note of dahlia, and base note of sandalwood. Listen, I feel like the notes are a little bit misleading. It's so super sweet. You've got tequila in there, but I don't really get any booziness from this. It's just straight up sweet grenadine. That is what this smells like. It smells like a Jolly Rancher. This one just smells like a super fruity Jolly Rancher, or could be even another Gusher. We might have another Gusher situation here. Like a nice, delicious gummy candy. Jolly Rancher or Gusher, and it's like this color. What's this one? No, it's strawberry. It's not strawberry though. It's, I don't even know what fruit it would be. It is very orangey, but there's just another juicy fruit in there. So grenadine, in I guess it's like classic form, is made of pomegranate. But this is just like unspecified red juicy fruit note. It's just a hard red candy like Jolly Rancher. That's just the only thing I can think of when I smell this. And it's divine. It smells so candy-like. If you want to smell around walking like a snack, yes, that makes sense. If you want to walk around smelling like an actual snack, so good. This is like just straight up a candy. People will be drilling behind you, surely. All right, y'all, those are my current favorite candy-like scents. Listen, this might change in the future, I'm sure, but these are the ones that I'm loving right now. Thank you so much for watching. What's your favorite candy-like scent? I want to hear what your guys' favorites are. I get some of my best suggestions from you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.